Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of My Hornby Hobby. I've been inspired by Double O Bill's recent workshop tour to do my own. So here we go. This is the updated maintenance platform. You may remember I had a homemade one when I started. It served me well, but then I upgraded to this, which is from B&Q. And it came with a divider there and two shelves there, and it's perfect for what I need. So taking you over it, here is the space where all the maintenance happens. Locomotive's got a problem, get it on here, light on, and you start taking it apart. So here are my tools that I use. So from left to right, I have a stirrer for my enamel paints, a cotton rod nut spanner, a posi screwdriver, a slotted screwdriver, back-to-back gauge, oil pen thing, 9-volt battery, fiberglass pencil, a craft knife, some files with the one that I predominantly use on the top, and then at the back there we've got a pot of salt to be used in conjunction with wood glue. There's some T-cut, there's a self-gripping slotted screwdriver, there's a manky brush, there's a pencil and a ruler, there's a track rubber, cotton buds, a Trix HO wheel cleaner, some, I believe that's the Molly grease, is it? That's Labelle grease. I've got some Locomotion Loco oil, Vaseline there. And then moving underneath it, I've got a couple of pens. I have my solder reel and my Pico Loco servicing cradle and a selection of paintbrushes that I predominantly use. Off to the side here is where I place chassis or bodies or anything that needs to be kept out of the way while I'm working here. And on my tower, I have nuts in there, chop blocks, washers, bolts, like small ones, other little bits of gubbins. So this is where coffee stirrers in there, cocktail sticks in there. So that's where a lot of useful parts are. So there's mainly screws and nails in there. On top, got a bit of super glue there. Box of matches for no apparent reason. This tower, which doesn't really have anything of note in it. This little pot, which I used for parts for another locomotive that I took apart. I have my Ertl Thomas and my Take Along Thomas there. I was going to use their faces for making a Ginty Thomas, but I couldn't bring myself to take their faces off. The Cadbury Instant Hot Chocolate pot is full of plastic wheels. And of course, we have the some WD-40 contact cleaner and Wonder Wipes there with a nice big tissue roll there. And the I believe it's the DK Sonics, is it? Yeah, DK Sonic Ultrasonic Cleaner. Back here, I've got a little hammer that I use for trap pins and hammering out wheel sets. Further up, we've got a place to store locomotive bodies, either while I'm working on the chassis or while they're drying. And as you can see, I have an aforementioned Ginty Thomas there and an LMS Ginty being in the process of being converted. Here is more tools that I use. So we've got tweezers, we've got a star screwdriver, a tiny screwdriver that I typically use for conrods, 2 sets of scissors, loads of bits for my rotary tool. You can see where they are. So cutting discs, sanding discs, drill bits, etc. Excuse the circular saw noise, that's my dad. Square, pair of pliers, cutters that don't stay there very well. Here's a set of tweezers that came with Buck, the Buck jumper. Over here, we've got 2 bags of zip ties and my old head torch. Moving further across, on top of my metal filing cabinet, I've got all my airbrush paints, which I just use as paints. My isopropyl alcohol, which will soon be replaced with white spirit once that's empty. There's some more super glue there. It's also known as contact adhesive. There's some multi-solve there, ballast magic, which I don't typically use, strip magic, which I'm using a lot more, wood dye in Georgian medium oak. Back there is a pot that contains my commonly used airbrush paints, so my buffer beam red, my cab and smokebox black, and my attempt at LMS red, or LMS maroon rather. There's also some airbrush thinner, some track magic right there at the front, which is good stuff, and a selection of acrylic paints up at the top there. And then sticking with the filing cabinet, in the actual drawers, in the top one, you've got track. In the second one, you've got accessories, so buffers, signals, fences, that kind of thing, you know, accessories. Third one down has a selection of chassis and also bodies and projects that are ongoing, but I've hit a brick wall with, so I've had to stash them away. In here, this contains metal wheels. I've got my reciprocating sander down there, 2 sets of pliers, heat shrink tubing, more paintbrushes. The instructions are underneath all of it, and some more acrylic paint. Again, doesn't really get used. I am typically using airbrush paints from now on. Wrong one. In here is a more selection of tools, so plastic cutters, spanners, multimeter, a re-railer, solder, and a lot of other gubbins in there that I don't typically use. There's just some engine bodies. A lot of them are Thomas. There was my first attempt at making a Ginty Thomas, which isn't too bad, but it has gone a bit green because of the varnish. Just been in there. This has also been cleared out, so we've got some more chassis down there, empty ones, some bodies there, a couple of rolls of duct tape, weights, metal weights, and then moving actually into the cupboard. In here, there's a load of 3D printed cases, and all of these contain my spare parts. So there's track pins there, there's couplings there, there's the main use ones are here, so fish plates, springs, brushes, slotted screws and posi screws. And there's bushings, there's gears, there's bearings, there's a little bit of everything in there. Trying spare parts. I try and keep everything organised in here. And the shelf underneath it, we've got a tub full of motors. Back there, we've got weathering powders and enamel thinners, some blades, the puffer bottle, milliput that I don't use, much longer coffee stirrers. Top one here has airbrush thinners. It has a couple of little pots. One of them has got sleepers in, and the other one has got con rods. So a huge variety of con rods. There's bicarbonate of soda. I'm sure we've all seen the trend. You mix bicarbonate of soda with glue and it creates an almost unbreakable surface. There's a roll of masking tape, a roll of duct tape, and there's also a small roll of fine painter's tape in there. There's one of those phone repair kits. At the back there, I have my metallic enamel paints. There's also a spare parts tub in that ice cream tub there. And in here, that's my old box of tricks, as I called it back then. Moving down, I've got batteries for the aforementioned head torch. That cost £8 from Boys, and it runs on these Philips AAAs. Here's another 3D printed pot, which contains smokebox doors, both regular ones and 3D printed. There's basically the boxes from cotton buds, and I use them as little bins to put used cotton buds in. Back there, I've got some flux. That Vanisoxy action thing, I believe, has got the bogies in them. Well, not bogies, but pony trucks. And there's my regular enamel paints. And I believe... Oh, there's one last thing. Hold on to your cameras. The torch that I got for Christmas, which really lights up the space. I apologise for it flickering. That's the reason why I don't typically use it on video, because it messes with the filming and it's annoying. Also here, just as a side note, a clamp there, and also this little truck has got brush springs in for XO4 motors. And that is my setup. This is how I exist now. It's not perfect by any means, but it's doing the job. I mean, I would like to have a load more storage space for other bits and pieces, but for what we've got, it's good enough. So, as you can see, nice big filing cabinet, and nice space here where I can open the drawers to the full extent, or even take them out if need be. Everything has its place. And two more things I should mention: my soldering iron, which I am keeping out, and my rotary tool, which I mainly use for wire brushing. They both stay out because I'm always using them, especially the soldering iron. As soon as you put it away, you end up needing it again. So, yeah. And this steel rule I use in conjunction with this square. I just put that square on there, clamp it down, and then I can use it for, especially for cutting those coffee stirrers up. But yeah, there you go. I apologise if I've missed anything off. As you can see, I've got quite a big setup. Well, not quite a big setup, but quite a lot in the setup. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Always much appreciated. And until next time, stay safe, and thanks for watching.